For a couple of nights each week, this is home for MOUSSA. Juan Pablo's been hosting the 17-year-old refugee from Ivory Coast in his Paris apartment for several months. It's a warm place to sleep and a slice of family life for the teenager who's alone in the city.
What they are doing for me is a big deal. Lots of people in France don't give anything to immigrants or people who are in need. Juan and his family didn't know me. I didn't know them, but he trusted me. Let me sleep in his home.
On MOUSSA's long journey from Ivory Coast to Europe, he says he lost a close friend and saw many people die on the Mediterranean Sea crossing. Juan Pablo found out about hosting refugees on social media and felt compelled to act.
I don't do it to get something back. If I had to flee my home and end up in the street in winter, I hope that people would help. It's a human duty. In France, whether it's the government or citizens, we just don't care enough about this.
French charities say there are thousands of refugees sleeping in the street. The Paris City Council provides some shelters, but there aren't enough places. The French government wants to see an end to camps like this. It's proposing a new immigration law which would aim to crack down on so-called economic migrants but speed up the process for asylum seekers. But some experts say that's simply the wrong approach.
The key purpose of the bill is to try and deter migrants and asylum seekers from coming to France. The bill doesn't do anything to try and make the living conditions better for those who are here already.
Last year, 100,000 people applied for asylum in France. 1/3 were successful. For those granted the right to stay, integrating into society is an additional challenge. Today, Carlos ARBELAEZ studies at one of France's top universities, but 7 years ago he fled Colombia. After 4 months in Paris sleeping outside, he was taken in by a French family. It changed his life.
Europe has to realise that the way it has welcomed refugees hasn't worked. For me, having lived with a family and learnt the language and gained a network, it shows that integration is really about contact and learning the skills to get by on your own.
French MPs are debating the new law and will vote on it at the end of the month. Unless the bill is amended to provide more support for asylum seekers, it seems many refugees in France will be forced to rely on the kindness of strangers. Natacha, Butler, Al Jazeera, Paris.